never used one of these yet. Why is it doing that? It's like this doorway is a wall. That feeling pretty badass with my weapons right now. This is my boomstick! Oh, I nearly went boom then. Let's go around that way. I don't know this. Which way to go? Oh, it's dead end. That's alright. Oh, it's not fair. It's down the Magnum. Oh well. Asshole. This shotgun is the best. Although it only takes 2 rounds. Which does give you that little bit of a disadvantage. Look at that! Okay, I guess I've got to nudge the cart. Yeah. I want to come across, what are they called? A fat boy. I don't like wasting powerful ammo on weaker enemies. got to be a decent enemy to, you know, use it on. But I do want to use one of these. I haven't used one yet. I see it. And what is my resolution's just cut out? I mean, I get why it happens. Obviously, sometimes it struggles, so it has to reduce it. But does it have to reduce it that much? January 16th, 2015, 12:42. Thanks to you guys, it's been about a week since my head's been clear and back to normal. And she still thinks she's got me. You guys really need to work on fixing that. Not only does she look like a little kid, but she's about as stupid as one too. Mom and Dad are still totally under though. I was wondering, is this whole family obsession something you guys programmed into her? It's kind of fucked up. That bitch Mia is still somewhere in between Evie La La Land and reality. She gets pretty violent, so I locked her up in a cell. I thought maybe Evelyn would get mad since Mia's her favourite and all, but she doesn't seem to care. She actually goes and visits her sometimes. She thinks Mia's her mommy. Like I said, your bioweapon is fucked up. Evelyn's family obsession is getting out of hand. She's making everyone kidnap more and more assholes off the street to add to her freak show of a family. Maybe she's getting tired of Mia not coming around. But it's a pain in the ass for me because I've got to clean up the mess whenever someone new comes along. By the way, Evie's looking sick or something. Her skin is getting all wrinkly and she's getting grey hairs. Is that supposed to happen? It's almost like she's getting old all of a sudden. She's the old lady in the wheelchair. She's the old lady in the wheelchair. This report details the symptoms that appear when the bacterium that grows inside of the E-Series infects a human. Be sure to read this document thoroughly before dealing with E-Series weaponized assets, hereafter referred to as mold. Initial infection. The mold ingests nutrients from the subject's body to propagate itself and slowly takes over cells within the body. As a side effect of this, the infected subject gains remarkable regenerative abilities. During experiments, we removed arms and legs from test subjects and found that they were able to cope the amputated limb in a matter of minutes. Mid-stage infection. Once the mold reaches the brain, the subject's thoughts become in tune with those of the E-Series asset. The subject starts to hear things and experience hallucinations and soon comes under complete control of the E-Series asset. If this state continues, the host will lose all sense of ego. Complete infection. After every cell in the body has been taken over by the mold, the subject begins to lose their human form. Physical mutations differ from case to case, but all result in him or her acquiring incredibly physical strength. Containing a subject at this stage would be extremely difficult. these big corporations ever learn that this stuff always goes sour? 10 minutes after dose. Death. 12 minutes after dose. Cell calcification. Dosage test. Vomiting. Oh. E-Necrotoxin destroys cells of any subject based on the E-Series bioweapon model. Used only for disposal of E-Series assets. Toxin must first be stimulated before use. Do this by placing a sample of an E-Series cell to the necrotoxin container. And that's what that is, I imagine. Didn't we cure Mia already? This project was instigated in 2000 as one of several concepts for the company's NextBAS, Next Generation Experimental Battlefield Superiority Initiative, working with technical assistance from HCF to develop a bioweapon for neutralizing combatants en masse with minimal direct contact. NextBAS was later folded and all its assets diverted to this project. What makes this project markedly different from conventional weapons is its ability to turn enemy combatants into allies, converting hostile elements into willing servants. Since this effectively eliminates the cost of not only power handling but also combat itself, it's no wonder we had the and even organisation chomping on the bit to get on board. The project would never have existed were it not for the discovery of the remarkably progressed variant evolution fungus that we commonly term the mutamycite. The fabrication method for each bioweapon was to introduce the mutacytin genome to pre-stage 4 human embryo and perform cultivation in a controlled environment over a period of 38 to 40 weeks. The resultant organism was referred to as candidate specimens and graded based on usability from the impractical and faulty. Series A through D to the perfect E-Series. A common appearance was selected for the bioweapons, that of a roughly 10-year-old girl to ensure ease of blending in with urban refugee populations. The first E-Series specimen named Evelyn has proven capable of secreting the mitomycite from her tissue at will. It's also of note that Evelyn's mutacyte imposes a profound control over body and mind when introduced into a host organism. We still have a lot to learn about the mechanism by which Evelyn achieves and maintains this control, but the working theory is that the vector is similar to the autoinducer pheromones used for quorum sensing in Pseudomonas bacteria. Bloody hell. Evelyn's control is exerted in a series of discrete stages, the first of which is hallucination. Almost immediately after infection, the subject begins to see images of Evelyn, though she is not in fact there, and even hear her voice, which is inaudible for anyone else. Auditions with infected subjects throughout the stages of infection reveal that at first the phantom Evelyn appears to be a normal young girl, sometimes desiring companionship or assistance. As time progresses, she begins making more and more extreme demands, including self-mutilation and attacks on other people. The psychological shock this induces helps to break down the mind's natural barrier to Evelyn's brainwashing effect. By the time mental control is achieved, the mitocyte infection has progressed throughout the body cells, so the body transforms, I imagine. So that's the front. Let me just check files. That's one of two. So there's another report somewhere. One of these tables. Yeah. Just reorganise this. Evelyn's functions also include the ability to form organisms from mycelia, Mycelia, the fungal filaments. The term organism is used loosely here. Strictly speaking, they are superorganisms formed of countless mycelia. What's important, though, is that they exhibit a strong survival instinct and will defend themselves ferociously with the slightest provocation. Their fungal toughness and remarkable strength give them significant battlefield potential. Researchers have been calling these superorganisms the moulded, made of mould and also moulded as in shaped. The name has a certain elegance to it. For the treatment of accidental infections, performing on samples of Evelyn's body tissue produces a unique fungicidal serum. Administering the serum to an infected subject will cause the mycelia to calcify, but if the subject's cells are already largely invaded, the serum will be fatal. Since the treatment window is so small, the serum's primary use is therefore disposal of infected subjects rather than a cure. In exploring the serum's potential, we found that subjecting it to would enhance its effect to extreme potency, becoming a compound we now call E-Necrotoxin, which in even tiny amounts. What's been interesting to observe in Evelyn's behaviour is her obsession with the concept of family. In experiments, we found on multiple occasions that infected subjects were compelled to act as her mother or father, treating her as if she were really their daughter. Why did she settle upon family as the theme for her mental control? This is just speculation, but it could be that she instinctively understands that a family unit is better suited to blending into social groups than a lone girl. On the other hand, well, a sentimental sort might suggest that she's making up for a perceived lack of love in her quarantined upbringing, a parent's love. Yeah, but she doesn't understand. Right, okay. Ooh. Yeah. More flame rounds. Ah, newer round. I think I'm good. I failed to get the magnum, so I'm still upset about that. Okay. No, make sure that's recording correctly. Yeah. Nothing else in here. No. Got a strong chem fluid? I have. Cool, so if I run out of healing, at least I can... I can hear a I can hear it. I can't see it. Bet you it's below. Nice. Okay. Might as well use one to make sure I'm fully healed. Oh, it's really annoying when it does that. did he survive that? I want a fatso. It's really struggling. What was that? Here we go. Holy cow. Oops. Right. Whew. Thing was massive. That's what I wanted. An actual chance to use this thing. Oh, I could have run up here, look. I wonder if you could just avoid them and just climb up the ladder. I bet that doesn't drop down until after you defeat them though. Don't think there's anything else here. It's the wind in the leaves. Right. So Lucas is actually no longer under her control. And sold out his family, I suppose. I don't want to get rid of anything. Need to get rid of that. There's nothing there.